After clicking the big orange start button on the main page, you'll be brought to this page, which is the dashboard. And now I'm not logged in right now, so the dashboard has just three main blocks. There's play, and the yellow 19 represents the number of courses that have been set up in the system so far. So there's 19 different courses that are set. Device rounds. The way Gimmie.ca works is when you're actually out and using it on the course, it's not always saving information to the cloud. It's just saving information on your device, on your smartphone. And so when you are connected to the internet or finish your round, you're able to upload everything all at once to the cloud. And so if something bad happens, your phone dies or whatever, all that information is saved on your phone. You can start it up and restart your round. So this is just showing you the rounds that are saved on the device and which you can open later on. And I'll show you how that works a little bit later. Reset. So basically what this is going to do is clear all that data, those 8 rounds that you have. It'll just erase them all if you want to get rid of them. And down at the bottom, click to send comments and issues, so that you click that and you can send an email to the developer. So let's log in and see what the dashboard looks like once you've logged in. So I'm logging into a test account. So we have the same blocks: play, device round, reset. We also have course setup. So you can add a course if you want. You can add your home course, your favorite course, if they're not already in the system. And there will be a tutorial that shows you how to do that. My handicap, which is a feature that allows you to see what your handicap is. As if you have an account and you are saving your rounds to the system, it'll automatically calculate your handicap. And again, I'll have another tutorial to show you how that all works. My stats, so another page that allows you to look at different statistics for putting, driving, greens and regulation, etc., for all the rounds you've ever played, or rounds at a particular course, or for a particular time frame, to help you learn how you play and what you can improve. And again, there'll be another tutorial on that. And finally, my matches. So Gimmie.ca allows you to have matches with one or more different players. And what it does is it takes your handicaps, figures out the strokes that need to be allocated to each player, and then as you play, it'll figure out who won the hole, who lost the hole, and also keep track of, once the match is done, your head-to-head record against your friends. So let's click the play button, and that will bring up a list of courses that are in the system, and they are sorted by their distance to you. So the courses that are closest to your proximity will be at the top, and the further they are away, the lower they are on the list. So if we wanted to play a UBC, for example, we'd click that course, and then all the different tee boxes come up. And here you can pick the tee box that you want to play. And this is important if you have an account and you are wanting to keep your handicap. Different tee boxes have different ratings, so those ratings are used to figure out your handicap. In the brackets is your course handicap, so it figures out what your handicap would be on the course based on your current handicap. So let's play the blue. And what it's doing right now is it's loading all the course information. And you will see that it's caching the holes. And what it's trying to do is sort of take a snapshot of the Google Map images for each hole. This is something that's not easy to do. Different devices handle this differently. So if you go out and you're playing around and you turn off your data so that you no longer have internet connectivity, these images here may or may not show up. But it tries. It tries to store this on your device. So I would always recommend, if you have data and you don't mind spending a little bit using the app, it's the best way that the app works. So let's take a look at all the different icons and buttons that are on this page. So up here, this one in And the green flag is the hole. So this is hole number 1. Next to it is this 5 is the par of the hole. So hole 1 is a par 5. Next to that is the distance between the device, you, and the middle of the green. So I'm in my office right now, and obviously very far away from this hole, 7,600 yards. So next to the yardage is the accuracy. So you see that squiggle, 148. What that's telling you is that the distance is 7,600 yards plus or minus 148 yards. So on your device, this yardage information refreshes every second. So gradually you would see that 148 work its way down to 10 yards or 5 yards. When you run the application just on a laptop or a computer, it doesn't refresh automatically. It's just calculates the distance once and that's it. But you can manually refresh it. So if we click on it, we can click on it a couple of times, it might refresh. You'll see it didn't change the accuracy, but it is much better on your smartphone for doing that. But you'll also notice the image flipped. So it flipped upside down. And the reason for that is it always orients itself so that you are approaching the green from the bottom. So where my office is actually in this direction down here, so that's why it flipped over. If you were playing the course, you'd be on the fairway somewhere, hopefully, and then it would flip around, and so the fairway would be at the bottom of the screen, reaching up to the green in the middle. Down here at the bottom is a little menu that has a bunch of little features that the application uses. So these arrows are for navigating the holes. So we click that and we go to hole 2, and click the left arrow and go back to hole 1. I is for information. So we click that, and it gives at the top here basic yardage book information. So the distances from the different tee boxes. As well, it does sort of an interesting thing where it lets you know, it knows how many times you've played every hole. So in this case, this test account has played this hole 10 times. Its average score is 6. It also knows the frequency of where your drives went. So for example, 10% of the time the test account hit its drive left, 30% of the time it hit the fairway, and 60% of the time the drive was right. And it also knows what your score ended up being from those different places. So the average score for when hitting left was 8. The average score when hitting the fairway was 5. And the average score for hitting right when hitting right was 6.2. So this tells you error to the right. You can use this information to sort of help you decide, where you want to aim the ball, where you want to err when you're hitting the drive. It will also give you your putting history on the hole. So my average putts here is 2, and it'll give you the frequency of hitting the putts low, high, short, and long. So you can use this information to remind yourself, hey, on this hole I always overread the break, or I always hit it too hard, and hopefully that will help you lower your score. Finally, there's a section called My Hole Notes. So this application allows you to write notes into the system and save them. So you might write a note about how the green breaks, or where you want to play your second shot, your approach, how you want to hit it, etc. Just information that you might find useful. So we can click the I again to make that disappear, and we can click Y for yardages. And what this does is it gives you the yardages to the different features that are on the hole. So as you can see, we have right bunker 1, right bunker 2, left bunker, the green, and it'll give you the yardages front, middle, and back. So it's just sort of a quick look up if you're wondering how far away you are to these different things. You can find it all here. And again, the accuracy is up here, plus or minus 148 yards. So again, if you're on the course, that's going to be a lot smaller. So we can click that to make it disappear, and then we go to score. So with the score, we have a bunch of different pieces of information we can enter. So obviously score, you plus a plus to add to your score and minus to subtract. You can record how many putts you had on the hole, and then you can record in the system where your tee shot went. So if you are a right-handed player, this would be a hook left, that would be a pull left, that would be a fairway hit, that's a push right, and that's a slice right. And you can also record your first putt miss. So you could leave your putt short or long, or you could hit your putt too high or too low or too high. And so this is all information that the system will gather to tabulate and help you understand how you can improve, where your misses are. So it's keeping track of your score, your greens in regulation. It'll figure out automatically. Show score on main. So if you want to see what your score is just on the main screen, you can turn this toggle button on, and when we close this, you'll see the score. And so here's sort of your stats section for this round. So your total putts are 3, and your putts per hole are 3, because we've only done one hole and it was 3 putts. Drives, 100% have been slices to the right, and first putt misses are 100% are long and 100% are high, and those obviously will change as you get more and more hole information entered into the system. Here it'll show you your handicap. Again, only if you have an account. If you don't have an account, it's unable to record your handicap. And scorecard. So if we click scorecard, you'll see sort of a standard scorecard test here. That's the user. We played the blue tee box, so it's just going to show the yardages for the blue. Men's and women's handicap, the pars for every hole, your score, and then little icons for what you did on the hole. So here we sliced our drive. We hit a green in regulation. We had 3 putts, which is highlighted in pink, so that your 3 putts really stand out. And then putts short and long, and putts high and low. And so you can scroll over and see your whole scorecard and the different stats related to it. We can get rid of that like that, and we can click S again, and the scorecard disappears. And now you can see we've got our score here on the main page. N for notes. So here I entered some notes previously. Now these notes didn't show up on our information page because this round wasn't saved to the cloud. So this is sort of unsaved information so far. But you can type, or your smartphone will probably allow you to dictate whole notes. So whatever you deem important, you can enter into the notes section. Before we get to the X, I'll explain a little bit what this marker icon is all about. So if we click that, you'll see a marker drops down onto the screen, and as you drag this, it's going to calculate the distance between you and the marker here, 7664, and the marker and the pin. And by the pin, really, it just means the center of the green. That's 41 yards. So you can use this to figure out distances to the the front of bunkers, the back of bunkers, over hazards, or if you've hit a drive offline and you want to lay up to say 75 yards, you need to know the distance you need to hit to get to this point, and that can be quite useful. I wish I had a club that went 7,700 yards, but I don't. And you can click that again to make that go away. Finally, when you're done your round, you've played all your holes, 9 holes, 18 holes, 13 holes, however many you've played. You click the X. It'll give you a summary of your score and greens of regulation, etc. Your putts, your drives, all the information that's on the scorecard, and this button to save to cloud. So when you click this button, it'll save your information to your account. Now, if you're playing without having an account, you won't see that button. Now, if for some reason you don't save this to the cloud and you go back home to the main screen and you realize, oh, I didn't save it, I should have saved it, you can click on device rounds here. We can go down to UBC, and you can see we played it a few times in the last few days. And I can reopen this round. So this is the one that's not saved to the cloud, but I can open that one. And it'll recache everything. It's setting up the round just as it did before, but it's going to remember everything that you did. So it'll have all your score and your stats and everything in there. Then we can go back to the X, and we can save to cloud. And it says we're done. So that is the basics of how you play around with the Gimmie.ca app.